It's British Day. That's what it is. The British are coming.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. You're actually watching two separate work days combined here. The first work day on the car and then the first real day we got to work on it. We're hoping to accomplish a lot today. We are waiting on a lot of parts to get here. This project's actually not nearly as bad as we thought. We're gonna pull the frame, fix the air suspension, see what we can do on the front left wheel. Stick around, hope you enjoy it. Scratch it. My highly organized dry box.
It's actually quite organized. I know exactly what all this is.
Is that a Mercedes supercharger up there?
Yes.
Why do I have that?
It's off of, the car's gone.
Yeah, why do I have it?
I don't know.
You guys are pack rats.
We are. We like our good stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. So perfect.
Dried up paint rollers. Like,
well, that's not me. But yeah, we're done.
A lot of people are going to look at this car and think, oh, it's screwed, it can't be repaired. That's actually not true. Everything you see here that's damaged, this part is bolt on. I mean, that just pop right off and put a new one on. This part here is a little bit bent. If it's not straight enough to reuse, and I see up here it's bent too, it's actually easy to change. Just drill out the spot welds all the way around. It's got some epoxy on it. It'll take some work, but we can take that off and just set the new part on and weld it in place. What's important is the frame rails down here. These are straight. All the damage was above the bumper. This is a bolt-in part. This is going to be easy repair. It's going to be expensive just because of the parts, but it's going to be easy. So I'm actually more excited now that I've noticed that. I'm feeling better about this already.
Just a little love. She wants to look pretty. She don't even know what she is yet. Look at her. Now she knows she's a twin turbo. Woo! That's nice.
you have 171 fault codes?
Yep. You got more faults in the first ECM than you do in the second ECM.
Well, that's better.
So we know this car's been salvaged twice before. I found some wood screws in the back, and Antonio just found this amazing bracket, homemade bracket to hold this beat to crap fender liner in with a self-tapper screw.
And self-tappers all throughout. Super
Never
awesome.
trust anybody else's work, ever. I've been published on salvage cars, and there's a reason. We rebuild them right. We don't hack them up, we don't do all the BS that other people do.
Okay.
Steve's gonna give the car a colonoscopy here and get a look at the, I think he's looking at the turbos.
Yep. It's a little finicky, dude.
Doesn't look too bad.
It's missing pieces.
What's missing pieces? The turbo?
Part of the compressor's got chips on the wheel
No.
right up here at the top.
Isn't this an engine out to do a turbo?
Yep, back there. See that? That's bent.
Yeah,
missing a piece.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just have to see how much it affects it. You can pretty much see like the discoloration at the bottom. That doesn't matter down there. It gets oil through it. That doesn't matter. When you get to the top part, which is a little bit harder to do, you can actually see the piece that's actually missing back there. And when it folds like that and it expands, it can scrape and it'll make noise and lose boost pressure. And then like it can give you codes for low boost, or it may not even notice it, but it is physically seeing some kind of impact.
The cost of the turbos isn't that bad. They're like 600 bucks, but it's changing them because that's an engine out, and that's a horrific ordeal on this car. Of course, it's not as bad as it would be on the Aston. It's just still, it's time.
We want to check. We probably want to drain the oil, make sure there's like, because like there doesn't seem to be anything really on the stick.
Okay, I'll get oil and a filter coming for this.
Yeah.
What oil should I get? Oh, 040, that's right here.
What's it say?
040.
040.
That is worrisome. Is there like an engine oil cooler that busted off?
I've seen worse, so.
Yeah.
There's like no oil in this engine.
No, there is not.
You have this molding was put on the bottom of the door here. Yeah.
There's your oil leak.
From the cap. From the
What?
from the oil filter.
The cap has a hole in it. It's leaking from the center of the cap, right here.
All right, so whenever Antonio's ready. So here's the game plan for today, guys. Steve's gonna put the air ride system back together in the back. Antonio, I've got a spindle for the left front so that the wheel will free up. And we're gonna take the front nose section with the radiator and all the coolers off so that I can do the frame pull on it. I decided I'm gonna do that myself. I don't need a body shop. But before we do that, we did the straight pipes on it this week. We built a 2.5-inch dual exhaust system. When I put it online, a couple of wankers from the Bentley group, they didn't like the bends, that the bends were crushed. We used mandrel bends and TIG welding and blah, 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 blah. There's nothing wrong with the way we did it. This is America. You're lucky I don't swap an LS in here just for the Brits. Let's see how they do it, how it sounds.
This is where the action happens.
Airflows aren't hooked up, there's no coolant in it, but it's live. I like it.
Hear that sound?
So on the first video that we brought the car into the shop, there was one person in particular who had some comments on the way, not only that we lifted it, but the way that we moved it in with the front wheel dolly when it was in neutral, because it's an all-wheel drive car. Now when we lifted it, obviously we didn't have it in the ideal spot with the forks, but the air ride was gone. There was no air ride on this car to pump suspension up at all. Had we set it down on the ground, we never would have gotten back underneath it. So that's why we forked it the way we did. The car was stable, it didn't hurt anything. As far as this wheel is bent, the spindle is bent, it's kicked in. This wheel will not spin at all, even in neutral, which is why we wheel dollied it. But when you're a troll on the internet and you want to give your opinions before you watch the videos and listen to the fact, you can find out the facts afterwards. One thing I would also like to point out to the do-it-yourself internet guys, you didn't notice that we're the wrong direction on an asymmetrical lift. Of all the things that we think we did wrong, this is what we did wrong. This is what we did unsafe. So we know more than you. Not everybody, it's one guy.
We're picking you out, buddy. We're picking you out.
You like that?
You can see right here is where the tire was making impact. It rubbed through the painted surface into the raw metal, and the raw metal is rusted, so the wheel was just basically into that, not allowing it to spin. We have a new replacement part right here, new knuckle, new bearing. That may be the biggest caliper I've ever seen. No, actually I found out, I didn't know much about the owners of these cars before. From the group that I'm in, I'm discovering there really are two sides. There are the purists, and then there's the guys like us, just want to go balls out. So I really like that, because there's people out there that do share that mentality that we have, but that haven't necessarily executed it in the manner that we're going to execute this. Now, it's no secret Daily Driven Exotics has a huge budget, way bigger than us. Dave's doing a full GT4 build. Well, I mean, he has a 100 grand body kit. We're not going that extreme. We're going quite a bit more mild. We're doing this on a realistic budget. So we don't have, $250,000, $500,000 to put into a car. We'll probably be in this thing 30 to 40 realistically. And I actually sold my SL63 this week to finance all the parts and the body kit and everything on this. So better turnout, right?
All right, so basically what's going on here is we have to buy a height sensor. Basically, as your suspension moves and goes up, this sensor moves and goes up, and there's a little sensor in here, and basically it tells the height, hey, we need more pressure, less pressure. Well, that arm is broken, so it has no idea where it's at. So we're going to replace it, but because I want to test this out, I need to temporarily fix this arm. So it will not be perfect, but it will be enough for us to test the suspension.
We're replacing the whole front end suspension. And to do that, we have to drop the cradle.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This is nice.
I never understand why engineers hate mechanics so much and decide to put bolts in a fashion that they don't come out when you want to replace things. This bolt goes out this way, but you gotta drop this whole subframe portion to get it out.
So how are you doing, Steve?
Not too bad. We want to basically see if we can code out or remove certain features on the vehicle that we don't need anymore. It keeps more things we don't have to replace, more things that could break that we don't have to worry about. Before you do any kind of coding or programming on a Volkswagen, you want to use the option to back up your software. This lets you basically back up what all of the modules see to the cloud, and it keeps it before you do anything. It's basically like saving a file before you go into it and mess with it. In the event that the coding didn't take or something went wrong, and the car wanted to act funny, we could just go to the backup, put it back to stock, and have no issues.
While Steve does that, Antonio and I have done everything that we can without parts. To do any better on the bodywork up front, we gotta have parts to fit. So that's all on order, so that'll be in the next video. Well, that was a fun day working on British cars today.
Yeah.
Got quite a bit accomplished for one day and not a lot of parts.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked with what we accomplished today and looking forward to getting those damn parts in.
I think we're gonna take a little break for Christmas and New Year's. By the time we're done with that, parts should be here and we should be ready to rock and roll. So everybody have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and feel free to donate parts, money, subscriptions.
Donate parts, donate money, subscribe. These videos are expensive, very, and I want to keep making them. So please subscribe, like, and share.
Thank you guys so much for keeping it up on our content, and have a great Christmas and Happy New Year.